So here's the big question. How are entrepreneurs like us, who have been hustling and struggling to make it to success, who seem to make it one step forward only to fall two steps back, who are dedicated, determined, and driven, how do we finally break through and win? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Kelly, and this is the Mind, Body, Business Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Business Show. We have another phenomenal guest lined up for you tonight. The amazing Pamela McCoy is waiting to come on screen. She'll be here any moment. I promise you that. She is here. She is ready. And I can't wait to share her brilliance, her wisdom, her experience with you. That is the whole purpose of this show, is to share the success of others so that all you need to do is listen, take notes, and then execute on what you just learned. And that's called modeling success, basically copying it. That's what we're here to do, is to give you the recipes to success. There are many recipes, say for making a successful cake, which I personally don't even eat, but there are many different recipes. The cool thing is you only need one recipe to be successful in baking a cake or in business or in life. And so whatever recipe resonates with you is the one you want to grab onto and follow. And Pamela, I'm sure, is going to have some incredible nuggets of wisdom, smart bombs, bombs of wisdom, you name it. She is going to bring it, because every one of my guests does that. They wouldn't be on this show if they didn't. That is why Pamela is here tonight. The Mind, Body, Business Show is a show by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. And what I found were, in my studies of only successful people spanning about 10 years, I found there were three pillars or three commonalities between these very successful people. And you might guess what those might be. Yes, they are the name of this very show. Mind being mindset. To a person, they each had a very positive, powerful, and most importantly, flexible mindset. And I got to tell you, Pamela McCoy fits all of those to a T. Oh, if you could see what I saw just moments ago, amazing. And there is body. To a person, each of these successful people also literally took care of themselves physically. And that was through exercise. Yes, I said it, the big E, and nutrition. So what they ate and intook. Is that a word? I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Liquid consumption. Yes, definitely. Which is really cool to learn these things. These are common traits. And then there's business. Business is multifaceted. The thing is, all these successful individuals had mastered the various skill sets that are required for one to have to own, operate, and expand a successful business. Skill sets like sales, marketing, systematizing, team building, leadership. I could go on and on. The thing is, to master one skill set can take a very long time. It's likened to being called an expert in any one thing. Studies show it takes around 10,000 hours of focused attention on one topic to become an expert at it. The same is true with mastering skill sets. The good news is, as a business owner, to become successful, you personally do not have to master each and every skill set. In fact, if you just master one, just one, and actually I did say it, it was one of those in the very beginning, that if you master it, the others will fall into place. And that one, well, do you want to know what that one skill set was? I'm just curious. Yeah, I'll let you know. That one skill set is the skill set of leadership. Once you have mastered that skill set, now you can bring in and assemble a team of others who have mastered all of those other skill sets combined. And now you have the recipe for success in that light. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Leverage other people's wonderful brilliance and experience. And that is the Mind, Body, Business Show. And another thing I noticed with very successful people is, to a person, they are all also very avid readers of books. And with that, I want to segue very briefly, and we'll bring in Pamela McCoy real quick, very briefly into a little segment I like to call affectionately Bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by ReachYourPeakLibrary.com.
There you see it. reachyourpeaklibrary.com. Now, for those of you watching, even if you're listening on the podcast afterward, I just one word of advice, of kind advice, and that is to stay with us here on the show rather than succumb to that desire to go looking at resources that I know Pamela is going to have several. The best thing for you to do instead of clicking away is to simply write them down. So reachyourpeaklibrary.com, just write that down on a notepad, whatever you have available, and visit it after the show is over. Because I always say this from stage, and it's so true. The magic happens in the room. Now, this is a virtual room, but I think you get the point, is if your focus is on what Pamela is saying here very, very soon, you're more likely to get that golden nugget or multiple golden nuggets that could change your life for the better forever. If you're off doing other things, you might have lost track and focus, and you may miss that one thing, just one thing that could change your life forever. And I'd really not like for that to happen. Just a suggestion. I'm running this show, I'm interviewing, and I myself take notes during the show. So I'd never tell you to do anything I wouldn't myself do. So that's that. That's my soapbox moment. reachyourpeaklibrary.com. That is a resource I had put together with you in mind. I know it sounds a little cheesy, but it's true. I really did this for you, the small business person, the big business person, it doesn't matter, entrepreneur, successful, not yet as successful as you'd like. It is a compilation of books that I have personally read and vetted. Now, not every book I've ever read is on here. And so the thing is just to go here. They're not in any particular order. They're just in here as we put them in, as I had them put in. And you'll see some great titles. Some you may recognize, and maybe you don't recognize any of them. That's okay. Pick the first one that jumps out, the description, the title, whatever, maybe the author that you like, and get it. This is not here to make money. This is not a money-making website, is what I mean by that. And that's not my motive here. It is just to give you a one-stop shop where at least one other successful person vets the information here. So you are more apt to have a higher probability of not wasting your time reading another book. And so I'm waiting for one to show up because it's going to be so appropriate. I hope it's in here soon. I don't remember where it was because I hope we talk about, there's an amazing guy named Dr. Willie Jolly, and he has an amazing, amazing book. I hope I didn't miss it already. Scrolling down, there he is, the Willie Jolly collection. Amazing man. It just so happens that Pamela McCoy, my guest, knows him personally, and I am so excited because I love how Willie always said, a setback is a setup for a comeback. Oh, I'll never forget that. Beautiful, beautiful book and a beautiful man, and I can't wait to bring on this beautiful woman who knows him personally. It's obvious that they run in circles for obvious reasons. They are both very beautiful at the core. Speaking of such beauty, let's bring her on. What do you say? I think it's time. Let's bring on Pamela McCoy. Here we go.
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is the one. It is the only Pamela McCoy. Yes.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, Pamela. How are you doing this evening?
I am delighted to be here with you, Brian. Excited.
We're going to have some fun. I hope you're okay with that. And I hope everyone watching and listening is also okay. And massive value is coming your way. I know it. Real quick, before we dive in and before I give Pamela the introduction she so richly deserves, a little bit of housekeeping first. For you watching live, you have the ability, the chance to win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. Compliments of our sponsors. They're up there in the corner if you're watching this on video. The Big Insider Secrets. And this is an amazing, amazing giveaway. We get to do this every single show. Thank you to the Big Insider Secrets, Jason Nast, my friend. And you definitely want to stay. You must be on here live at the end, and we will show you how to enter to win. And a couple more quick ones, and then we'll get moving. Sound good? Let's do it. If you're struggling with putting a live show together and it's overwhelming and you want a lot of the processes done for you while still enabling you to put on a high-quality show and connect with great people like you know who, Pamela McCoy, and grow your business all at the same time, then head on over to carpetbombmarketing.com. Carpet Bomb Marketing. Saturate the marketplace with your message. And one of the key components that is contained in the Carpet Bomb Marketing series is one that you'll learn how to absolutely master. It is the very service we use to stream our live shows right here on the Mind Body Business Show. Over the course of the past 9+ years, we have tried many of these so-called TV studio solutions for live streaming. And StreamYard is the best of the best, I'm here to tell you. It combines supreme ease of use along with unmatched functionality. So you can start streaming live for free, high quality, professional looking live shows right now. All you have to do is visit that URL you see on the screen. If you're listening on podcast, it's ryp.im/stream live altogether. ryp.im/stream live. Now time to bring back the woman of the hour, the person we're all here to see. Yes, Pamela McCoy, and to give her the introduction she so richly deserves. Are you ready, Pamela? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Pamela McCoy, who married the love of her life almost 30 years ago, ooh, I can relate to this, is a purpose-driven credit industry professional with a successful career that spans over 25 years and entrepreneur, having launched BONA5D CREDIT CONSULTANTS, LLC in 2008 and B5 REAFFIRM in 2020. Both mind-shift endeavors allow her to empower people to become better versions of themselves. I'm loving this already. Now, officially, formally, welcome to the show, Pamela.
Thank
McCoy.
you again. Delighted to be here.
You know, I'm not going to say what happened before we came on the show, but what I will tell people is, oh my gosh, I am impressed with you just from what I saw and witnessed, Pamela. I kid you not. There's no way I would have been have handled everything as well as you did. I'll just say it that way. You are
okay.
And so what I like to do is open the show talking about what I believe is the foundation to everyone's either success or lack thereof. And that is what's going on in everyone's big, beautiful brain, the mindset. And so I'm curious with you, Pamela, you know, being an entrepreneur, as you know, it's not all everyone that is not one thinks it is. There are a lot of arduous moments, tasks, there are setbacks, as Willie Jolly says often. There are things that most people would probably crumble and say, I'm done. That's why there's so few entrepreneurs. But for you, when you get up in the morning and you know that another day is to come, there's good moments too, of course, or we wouldn't be doing what we do.
Absolutely.
When you get up knowing that there might be an arduous task lying ahead, what is going on in your beautiful brain? What is driving Pamela McCoy to say, I've got this. This is another day. I'm going to go serve people and change the world. What is it for you?
I think in a word for why I do what I do is impact. And what I mean by impact is no matter whom it is or when it is or where it is that our paths cross, it is my hope, it is my prayer each and every time that the person who I'm interacting with, their life has changed for the better in some way. So whether it's just we're passing on a street and it's a smile, or it's an exchange of dialogue, or they attend one of my workshops or seminars, participate in one of my programs, or I'm doing outreach in the community. The result, the goal, the reason, the why is always the same, and that is for impact.
And how much of that was all about you? Zero. That's what I love.
I believe in boomerang blessings, right? And so you just do what you do. We're all put here to serve, really. You'll find that my faith is very important to me. And so it's intertwined in everything that I do. And so I think, you know, generally speaking, we're all put here to serve, right? But in return, if everyone is serving, then at some point you're being served, but that's not your motivation or your drive.
Oh, that was it. You know what's coming, Pamela. I told you this would happen. I knew it. Yes. Smart bombs, knowledge bombs, bombs of wisdom. That was the key. You said it. I was waiting for it. It's like, so do it without expecting anything in return. I tell people this all the time as well. And you can see they get this confused look on their face. You're like, I'm telling you, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Pamela. I'm a Christian, and I think it's about serving others. And yes, it does come back to you. But if you go at it with the intent of getting something in return, then I think that's the wrong motivation. And it probably won't do as magnificently as it will if you have the mindset that Pamela just talked about. I love that. Golden. It was a bomb dropping moment right there. Beautiful. Oh, we have a few people saying hello. I love it. Yes. Oh, we have Chris Thistle, a good friend of mine. Oh, look this guy up, Chris Thistle. He has a life-saving supplement that literally, I'm going to say this on the air and I'm going to say it out loud. It cures cancer, and it's cured many people, and it's phenomenal. So Chris, and he's another servant first individual. Love him. Thank you for coming on, Chris. And Jessica L. Hey, sister, I'm watching. And she said, love it. I'm assuming you know who that is, but if you don't, that's
yes,
cool.
that is my sister. She's my roommate from college, but we're like sisters more than roommates. We've been friends for now, I don't know, 40 years or something.
Awesome.
So
love it when people come to support each other. Thank you for watching. You're going to get some great golden nuggets, and continue to comment, ask questions. We'll have opportunities throughout the show. I love interaction. So I like to talk about, I talked about some arduous tasks that happen, and that, being an entrepreneur, one must be pretty thick-skinned and thick-headed to get through this and keep battling. And what happens with entrepreneurs, especially successful ones, is they go through many, what I'll call failures. They might more likely be called setbacks. I love Willie Jolly's explanation of that. But for you, Pamela, what have been some of those setbacks or failures that the key is that you've learned from, that have helped catapult you to this level of success you're at now?
I think one that happened very early on, but it was fundamental for the foundation. And that is when you go into entrepreneurship, and really anything in life, I think when you have friends, we'll call them, more than colleagues, people who have already journeyed past where it is that you have yet to travel, right? And so you emotionally, mentally, you kind of think, oh, well, this person, they're a friend, and so they're going to help open doors and support in that way, right? Because it's not taking anything away from what they're doing or what have you. And maybe you shouldn't assume and all that, but we all do, right? And so the assumption would be, oh, well, you don't have to open the door, but if you just put a little crack in it, right, that'll be enough, to give me a leg up in this journey that I'm on. And when that didn't happen with certain people, that you thought like are in your circle, like you really thought like these are the ones, right? These aren't complete strangers. These are people. And so then you went on that emotional roller coaster about the disappointment, the letdown, the disbelief, all of those emotions. And so from that journey, I adapted the Q-tip mentality. And what is that? Quit taking it personal. Right? And because faith-based says, even though I thought that was an avenue of assistance, it is clear that that's not the avenue that he had for me. And so it is, you stay focused on him and on his mission, and he'll open doors, pour you out blessings you don't have room to receive, crack those windows, crack those ceilings. He will do it all, right? So you don't have to depend on leaning not onto your own understanding about why this person didn't necessarily offer a helping hand, right? You're not looking for a handout, you're looking for a helping hand kind of thing. But I quickly got beyond that. My husband's like, don't worry about it. Walk in your purpose. And that's what I do. All that I do is about walking in my purpose. And even, though we all have to make money to pay our own bills and that kind of thing, that is not my driver. That is not my why. And so what I always say is, if I continue to walk in my purpose, the money will come, right? However he defines that, and that mindset has worked and bode well for me on this journey of entrepreneurship. It's really about his purpose, right? And it's not even starting BONA5D, like my professional background, my degree is in business. I have over 25 years, as you said, in the industry, credit card, banking, that kind of thing. But let me start a company. But around 2007, early 2008, it was like everywhere. Our pastor preached a whole series on walking in your purpose, right? And it's like you hear, yeah, but he's talking to somebody else, it's not me. But we go on vacation, you visit a church, they're talking about walking in your purpose, like everywhere I turn. And then finally, you strip the white cloth and say, I hear you, Jesus, I acquiesce. And thus BONA5D was born. Wow. And we probably won't have time to go into all of how the BONA5D name came about. And it will be in my 4th or 5th book. I'm working on a couple books now at the same time, in addition to the 3 that I've already written. But that journey of coming up with the name, it is Bona5. It's spelled different, B-O-N-A, the number 5D, but it's pronounced Bona5. And as I was sharing with you, Brian, earlier, so that's the one company. The other division is the B5 REAFFIRM. But the common thread you'll see is 5. And why 5? Biblically speaking, 5 is the number of grace. And so that is foundational in everything I do. It's about his grace, his mercy, and sharing that with other people as they shift their mindset. And so when I'm before people, what do I say? I'm your MSI. I bet you don't even know what that is, do you, Brian? What's an MSI?
I don't know.
Yep, that's what I am when I am before any one group, organization presenting. I indicate that I will be your MSI for the time that we have together. And what is that? It's a mind shift initiator.
Ooh,
and what that means is that I can't make you do anything. What I can do is disseminate information and share information with hopes that it will cause a pause. And as I like to say, there's so much power in the pause.
Ooh.
So if I can get you to pause, your mind is working, your mind is shifting, right? To see things in a new light, to see things that you've never seen before, or just to think differently about things that you thought you already knew, right? It's shifting that mindset. But that can only happen when we take that pause and feel the power.
Let's take a pause. I love it. And you're so true on, oh my goodness, I'm getting writer's cramp writing notes on that's a good thing. That's always a good sign. The Q-tip, quit taking it personal. That's massive. That's so powerful.
Yeah.
Don Miguel Ruiz wrote a book called The 4 Agreements. And one of those 4 agreements was don't take it personal. And that was that was the most powerful of the 4 agreements. That's the one I always remember because it's the hardest one to let go of. You know, it's like, other people have reasons for lashing out at you or not fulfilling their promises, all these things, and rarely does it have anything to do with you personally. It has more to do with what's going on in their life, that they're just unaware that that is what's happening and your perception of. And it's usually never about you. And it's powerful to understand that and know that and think about that. We're all human. We're all human. We still go back to that, right? Even now.
Absolutely.
But knowing this and having that reminder built in at some point, oh, that's right, but it's not personal. That's huge. And that puts you more in the driver's seat of your own life when you're not, you know, blaming or looking at other people and saying, yeah, well, I took it personally. So what are you going to do? You're going to lash out mentally about that person. You're going to point the finger of blame in their direction when you should be looking at the mirror when you do that, because they don't mean anything by it most of the time. And grace, what a powerful word. You know, we cannot get to heaven through works, but by grace, right? And grace, like how do you comprehend that? Wait, I got to do something. All you got to do is accept Christ.
You got to accept him. That's it.
How simple can that be? I mean, the guy next to him on the cross accepted him at the moment he was dying. He was
at the moment.
That.
Yeah.
And that's hard to fathom. Like, why would he do that? Why would he allow somebody that's been a, you know, lifelong criminal, thief, whatever, like that? Let him in. I don't get it. That's because he's God and we're not.
That's because he's God and has the heart as big as the universe, right?
It created the universe. I love it. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. Lynn Spire from LinkedIn. Really fantastic and authentic content plus innovative advice, Brian and Pamela. Well done. Like chicken soup for the entrepreneur soul. Ooh, next book.
Oh, I love it.
All right, we'll make you a co-author. We'll do a 3-way authorship on that one. That's a great
Sounds
one.
like a plan.
And just, yeah, Q-tip. That is a great, great tip.
Yes.
And thank you for reiterating that, Jessica. You definitely are a dear friend, I can tell. And MSI, I love that. Mind shift
initiator.
That is awesome. Are you familiar with the science of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming?
No, I'm not.
It is amazing. And at first, I was guarded heavily because of my faith, thinking that maybe something that's going to be working on my mind could do something to my faith. I learned it couldn't since, and I studied, and then I became certified in it. I highly recommend it to anybody out there watching or listening. It's a science. It works fast, and it helps you reprogram your brain. Don't worry, it's not woo-woo. for the better. It's only your brain is going to reprogram itself. Your brain loves you, so it's no one else doing it. You're doing it all. It's amazing. Highly recommend it. When you said mind shift initiator, that's a similar thing. No one can change your mind. No one can reprogram it. Only you can do that. And it's amazing. So everything you said, my gosh, so on point. No, number 5, walking in your purpose. Money is not my why. That's why you're on this show. Thank you, Ursula Odom, for recommending Pamela McCoy to come on this show. Oh, I'm having fun. I'm having fun. So have you been an entrepreneur your whole life, or did you used to work corporate for a while? What's your backstory on that?
I was corporate right out of college, corporate right up until actually 2013. But I started my first company, though, in 2008. So I was still full-time in corporate America, vice president at a bank, which was taking up a lot of my time, right? And I used to say that BONA5D was getting the leftovers. And so, you know, talking about have a plan, and how they say, if you want to make God laugh, you know, come up with a plan, right? So he was like hilariously rolling over in heaven because I had a plan, right? And I'm a planner, so I had the details and everything. How about that? But 2013, he had and implemented his master plan. And so 2013, I left corporate, and I've been doing entrepreneurship full-time ever since. And it was so funny, you know, that every time I would, you know, get on that fence, shouldn't I get back into corporate, right? Every single time I really think I'm getting kind of serious about, I need to give some serious thought to that, I get another contract. and so I guess that was his way of saying, you know, I got you, right? Walk in your purpose. And this is the purpose that I have for you. And, you know, that in conjunction with my husband, which I refer to as my heartbeat, his support, you know, is immeasurable, right? And I couldn't do this without him, without his support, without his encouragement. He's just all that in a bag of chips. So, as the young people would say, like, he's a keeper, like, I'm not trading in, I'm not, you know. I'm in it for the long haul. We're going to get that his and her rockers, you know, the his and her dentures and all that. Like, we're in it for the long haul. We're you know, quickly approaching 30, you know, so however long he has for us, we're going to do this thing called life together. So that's the plan.
I love that. That is amazing. Yeah, we just crossed over 30 ourselves. I've married my high school sweetheart. I can so relate. She's my why. You know, yours is your heartbeat, mine's my why. It's very similar. It's amazing.
Yes.
And it's refreshing to hear a spouse talk about their spouse that way. And I'll say, especially when it's another man, because they seem to make light of that relationship more than women do. Women are more authentic. But to hear it, I can hear that all day long from every couple. I'll be just filled. It's amazing to hear that. I love it. It's like, if you're not happy, why did you do it to begin with? You must have done it too quick or whatever. I don't know what the reason is, but just make the best you can out of it. Is it perfect? Is your life perfect every single day? No. Do you ever get in an argument or maybe disagreement? Absolutely. It's like I do it with my brother growing up, my best friend, my wife, my kids.
Your job, anything, you know, no two people will always agree 100% of the time. Right. But you just have to go into it's all about everything starts with this, your mindset. Right. And if your mindset is that this is something that I'm riding this horse, I'm driving the tires off of this automobile, right? Until it's done, it's not going to be done kind of thing. Then you just, you know, that stick-to-itiveness, which is the same with entrepreneurship, right? Because there's some tough days and some days you ask yourself, why in the world? What was I thinking? Right? When I said this is what I wanted to do, but that's when your why kicks in, right? In those tough times when you're thinking about giving up the ship, but that you dig deep in that why is what's going to give you the energy, give you the perseverance to continue on to go another day, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you don't have a strong enough why, good luck.
Yeah.
That's all. Because if it's not a strong enough why, in those hard times, you bring that back up. If that why is solid, you'll say, I'm going to do whatever
it takes.
Period.
Giving up is not an option. So we got to figure something else out.
That's right. Another amazing individual has popped in. April Lewis, how are you doing? She was on the show just last week. So wonderful. She says, bless the good man on your side. Yes, so much
Yes.
love that. Yeah, do this thing called life together. She's quoting you. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. And she says her generation as a whole needs relationship coaching. Well, good thing you are here, April, to do that. Fantastic. Amazing. You ladies are amazing. You rock. I had so many notes in here. My husband, my heartbeat. That was just phenomenal. Oh my goodness. And I love the fact that you came from corporate. And not only did you just come from corporate, VP of a bank, I'm guessing you were doing okay financially as a result of that, just guessing. And that could put people into a zone of comfort that they would never leave to become an entrepreneur. I'm just curious, how did you break those shackles from that cushy corporate position where you had a paycheck coming on a regular basis to become an entrepreneur where you never knew when your next paycheck was going to come?
In a word, faith, right?
Good.
And in another word that is in conjunction with that as it relates to that topic is obedience, right? When he gives you an assignment, it is hearing that assignment clearly and then stepping out on faith, knowing that if he brings you to it, he will bring you through it, right? Even though you can't see the next step, that it's there because that's who he is, kind of thing. And so it really is a step of faith. And so even, in starting B5 REAFFIRM, that division, I actually launched it amidst the pandemic. Like, who does that, right? And I tell people, I refer to the B5 REAFFIRM division of my company as my assignment from the big guy, right? And it's not, I refer to it as a division as opposed to another company because on the BONA5D side, we provide financial capability education, personal money management, right? And I've always incorporated self-esteem, mindset, mind shift, right, in that. But B5 REAFFIRM focuses solely on self-esteem and self-esteem of females, to be very specific. And I get asked the question, well, why are you focusing just on females? Why? Because that was my assignment, right? He didn't say males, and not to say that males don't suffer from it, because all of us, let me be clear, everyone, it's not age specific, it's not gender specific, it's not ethnic specific, it is not zip code specific. We all suffer from low self-esteem at some point, at some time in our life. It's just a matter of what degree. And what I mean by that is, say, for example, you've got someone who is what I refer to as ground zero as it relates to their self-esteem. And someone were to just fire off, as those little bombs you were dropping, all these negative commentary about that person. Oh, you're fat, you're ugly, you're dumb, you're stupid, you'll never amount to anything. All those kind of negative bombs, if you will. If you're already at ground zero, that's akin to another brick on your pile about why you're not good enough, right? Why you never will be anything. Because surely if all these people say it, it must be true, right? And you believe it because you don't have self-esteem to believe different. The exact same commentary could happen to someone who is at a more solid foundation as it relates to their self-esteem. It's still going to sting. They might even cry, right? Because it hurts your feelings. You take that, to heart, but they're quickly going to bounce back because reality is going to set in that, how about the fact of the matter is that is your opinion and you're entitled to your opinion, but I am choosing not to receive that because I know that I know that I know that I am somebody and that I do have value and I do have worth, even if you don't see that, right? He sees it. And that's really all that matters, as long as he sees my value and my worth and my purpose. And so to focus on women, B5, of course, we have the 5 and why it's a 5, but the 5 B's stand for I'm a bona fide boss with brains, beauty, and a believer in me. That mission, that mantra is so important that each female that I get to serve really grasp that wholeheartedly. And so I've been blessed. I just launched in June of 2020. Right before the holidays, had to order another round of 500 boxes. That's what my God can do, right? Hashtag GISCC. That's what I say when I can't explain it. And that stands for God is so crazy cool. And so, B5 has been a continuum of a constant state of awe is how I refer to it. It's like he just keeps on showing up and showing out and opening up doors and creating impact and testimonials and stories. And when you asked me about my one word, I said impact. And so when I launched B5 REAFFIRM, that too was the goal or the mission, right? Fundamentally, that I want to have impact. But what I didn't know, but of course he clearly knew because he gave me the assignment, is that program that he downloaded into me literally has saved the lives of some females. And so the first testimonial when that happened, when I tell you, it blows my mind to think that at the brink of the ultimate negative act of suicide, right? But the box, right? But the program is what shifted that powerful pause I talked about earlier. All I need is a pause, because it takes but a split second to shift your mind away from that negative act that you were about to do, right? To think about something else. And when that occurred and that testimonial came back to me, I can't even find a word that is big enough. Amazing, phenomenal, just doesn't seem powerful enough to describe what that felt like, to know that because I accepted my assignments, right? Because your assignments are never for you. They're always for someone else, right? You are just the vehicle. And to know that someone literally was still on this earth breathing because I accepted an assignment just blows my mind and gives me chills every time I think about the lives that have been saved by the program. And, to say that I'm not money driven, it is so hard. So I say to people, take my company to the next level. I say, I need this unicorn, right? And people, what is a unicorn? Why a unicorn? Because a unicorn that I need, and maybe it's one of your listeners and they're going to reach out and touch me. I don't know if it's a celebrity or whoever it is, but it's someone who has had a moniker of success, right? At the next level, has had a product or whatever, and, implemented, took it to the next level, all of that. And I need that assistance, that guidance, that education kind of thing, that mentoring kind of thing. But I need this person. What makes them a unicorn is, one, I don't want to give up my business, right? So I'm not interested in giving up, like Shark Tank, you give up X% and all of that, because this is an assignment, right? So I can't give the assignment away, and it has to be done the way it was assigned. And when you start giving up that kind of power, things start shifting, because people might see and want to do it a different way. And that's just not an option, right? And so I need this unicorn to really receive the purpose, the mission, the why B5, and want to come alongside me and teach me, help me get to the next level. But the math, now finance is my background, so I can add a little bit, right? And so I clearly know what I say. My mission is, I'd like to get my program into the hands of 1 million females. And so far I've been blessed to implement this program with girls as young as 12, and those that I like to call my sassy seniors in their 70s, and everything in between, right? Because remember, self-esteem is ageless. And I get clearly, if I sold the boxes for $1 each, then serving 1 million females would mean $1 million, right? I get that math. But the reality is, the mission is the driver. And so if getting these boxes in the hands of 1 million females yielded only $500,000, that's okay, right? That's that Jesus math that I need this unicorn to clearly understand. I understand math. I understand about the need to make money and all of that, but that's not the driver of the mission. As I said in the beginning, if I continue to walk in my purpose, the money's going to come. And whether it's $1 million or $10 million, it's okay. My lifestyle really won't change that much, because what $10 million of this program would mean for me is that I can serve more people, right? It's not 10 million for Pamela with 3 A's. It is 10 million for the purpose, right? And so I need this unicorn to get that. and still want to come alongside and blow this business up, right? Because the money is not about the money. The money is about the mission, and the mission being that the more money you have, the more you can serve. Because if I had $10 million, I would give the program away, right? I'm just not there yet, but who knows? He's got the master plan. I'm just here, this instrument going along, working the plan as he's giving me the assignments, the little mini assignments. But it has been an amazing journey of impact. I have worked with females who are victims of sex trafficking. I have worked with at-risk youth. I have worked with the school district. I have worked with the detention center, the juvenile detention center. He has opened doors and allowed me to touch so many lives and impact those lives and give what I refer to as a gift of self, right? Because when you shift that mindset, when you think different, and if you want to tie that back to the Bible, biblically speaking, he says, as a man thinketh, right? So if you start thinking different, then you are different. You show up in the world different. People approach you different. Everything is different when you shift your mindset. So that's why everything I do is about shifting that mindset to give them tools to be the best version of themselves or better version of themselves. And note, I did not say intentionally perfect, because perfection is not an option, right? So we take that off the table, striving towards something that you'll never accomplish, right? Just muddies the water. It's not an option. So that allows what's left, focus on being the best version of you, however that might be. And we're work in progress. So you're never gonna, it's a journey, not a destination. That too is intentional, because you're never going to arrive, right? We're working on it every day to be a better person today than I was yesterday, right? And we just continue on that journey, trying to one up ourselves each day, knowing that, perfection, there's only one perfect person.
Yes.
And that's him, right? So we can't ever be him. So we need to just focus on being the best you, the best me that I can be, right? And that's really the why B5. That's why Pamela with 3 A's. That's why BONA5D. That's why I do what I do, is to just get people there and want them to be excited about being themselves.
So much there that you know what's coming. Wow. I thought I had writer's cramp before, and I'm telling you, that's such a great thing. Oh my goodness, I wrote so much down. I want to address real quick the fact that it's only women, and I want to address the guys. And a lot of times I see that there are female entrepreneurs that are only focusing on women, and I get what the guys are thinking because I art one. And some of it's like, well, come on, why not? Well, think of it this way instead, maybe. How about when Pamela has that breakthrough and serves that one female that happens to be the one you love? Just think about how that will impact your life in a positive way. So, and love the fact that she's serving females. Females are the lifeblood. I mean, none of us would be here with men either, but come on, moms, dads are not anywhere near as good. I'm one of those too. There's a special additional connection between a mom and a child. You guys carry your child. You share blood internally. And nutrients and all that. There's such a deeper connection, and I'm fine with it. I love my kids. I love the fact that they have a great relationship with my wife. I love women, and I have nothing against the fact that you're helping women only. That's your calling. That's your sweet spot. Fantastic. And about money, I wish and I pray that you make as an insane amount of money for the very reason you stated. I knew it, that was what was right. And you verbally said it. It's so you could serve more, so you could scale your business, so you could serve more and help more, literally saving lives. I hope you guys caught that are watching and listening, you guys and gals. Oh my goodness. And then oh, I love it. GISCC. That was fantastic. That is so crazy cool. And then you said each female that I get to serve. Ooh,
it is a blessing, because you go into it thinking, you're delivering, but I can't even tell you the number of times that you show up to serve and then you end up being served. Remember what I was talking about, that boomerang blessing? It is like, wow, I came here to pour into this group of women and I end up getting poured into, right? It's amazing. Even when you're doing outreach, I do a lot with the homeless population, and it never fails when we're down there serving. Someone will say something or do something. And you're like, wow, like this is why, right? We have served the homeless food, and then, someone will break out in song. And you're like, oh my gosh, people, again, making those assumptions. Oh, this dirty person who's homeless. I mean, so harmonic. Their voice is this gift, right? And that's what they have to give. Even just right before the holidays, I told you I would do some work at the detention center, and I provided the young girls Christmas gift. And when I came back, one of the girls had 2 Jolly Ranchers, and she came up to me and she said, "This is a gift for you. This is all I have, but I want you to have." And I just, it's in that moment, right? It's a gift because it's not about the money. It's about the thought that went behind it. It's like in the Bible, again, everything can go back to biblical. The lady who, you give out of your surplus, but it's the one who gave out of their lack, right? Because it's easy to scrape it off the top. But when you have nothing and you're really at the bottom of the barrel and you give anyway, that's impressive. That's amazing.
Yes.
Right? That's stepping out on faith. That if I give you a piece of the little bit that I have, he's going to multiply.
Yes.
Right?
Planting the seed. Absolutely.
Planting the seed. Absolutely.
Pamela, you are such a blessing. How do we clone you? How do we make more of you in the world? The world needs more Pamela McCoys. And I'm not kidding. More like you, that have your heart, that have your belief, your faith, your yearning for helping others. You're the kind of person that makes the world go around, not money or any of that other stuff. Money is important, so I don't want people to think lightly about that. It's just not the focus. That's the point. You have to make money to grow your business and serve more people. You have to. It's just part of the puzzle. But when you don't focus primarily on it, and it's not your primary focus, I think that's when the real momentum begins. And you can see with Pamela, that's exactly what happened. Left corporate, started. Now she's helping lots and lots of women, saving lives. Oh my gosh, we have comments coming in. This is fantastic.
And I probably at some point will do a mirrored version. I did do a focus group this past year with some young men on the B5 program for females, what it would look like or feel like for males. And so we're kind of, doing a little thinking on that. And I have to wait for the go ahead from the big guy, right? But until then, I stay focused on my assignment, which is the females, the princesses. And if you'll see the B5 logo, it is a 5-point star. Again, we have to point out the 5, and it has a crown or tiara. Why? Because these are princesses and queens that, just for some need to learn and know, for others just need a gentle reminder of their true value, their true worth, and that they have something very unique and special to offer this universe.
I love it. You were talking about looking for that unicorn, and Lynn Spire, I hope I said it right this time. You are your unicorn. Trust me, Queen. You don't need much to blow up. I think
Thank you, Lynn.
Got it.
Thank you.
She said, give the program away and you will have your $10 million, but you won't need it as digital marketing is free. And this project has a heart of gold. With a heart.
Thank you, Lynn.
Okay, let's see. I want to see. All right. Lynn had a question. If you don't mind, we'll let audience. And she asked this a little while ago, but I want to bring it up. I like it. In a global pandemic and subsequent economic meltdown, so we've all been through that, many people question things like the 9-to-5 and a startup boom has occurred. What's your advice to these millions of new brands, which you've done yourself, in a digital era where it's free to market your brand and go global? What's your advice to those?
I would say, for me, first you got to pray on it, right? And if that's your thing, if this is what you've been tasked to do, you go for it, right? And I tell young people that I work with, and even entrepreneurs, there's other people who are going to do what it is you do, because at this point in the world, there's nothing new, right? We're revamping or rewriting or different way or what have you. But no one can do it like you. Because if you think about it, on the bona-fide side of my business, I provide financial capability education. There's 1,000,001 to and fro organizations, companies, businesses that provide financial literacy, those kinds of things. but no one can do it like I do it because it is me, right? And I'm uniquely designed, and the world needs all of it. Some people are going to receive it and learn really well by the way I approach it. Some want to hear it and learn it better from someone else who approaches the same task a different way. So don't be deterred that there might be someone else doing what it is that you do. No one can be you but you. So let's spend all of our time, effort, and energy in being the best you that you can be, right? That would be my advice. Just go for it. You got to be strategic and, do your homework and due diligence, or what have you, because in the economy as well, we don't have money to burn, if you will, right? But there's no guarantees in life, but we just have to be strategic in what it is that we're doing and then just go for it.
Yeah. And to your remark on there's nothing, it's nothing new. Lynn would agree with that. And I was thinking about that too. Like when it comes to like writing books and you're going on your fourth one, the thing is almost guarantee whatever subject being written on, whether the names are changed or different, but it's been written about before. What
Absolutely.
makes it unique is the author's experience, their own personal life experience, their own personal stories, their own spin in a good way on the topic at hand that may resonate to a reader more than the predecessor who wrote about the same topic. And that's the beautiful thing about this. And that means not everybody's going to love what Pamela McCoy reads. And if they don't, they have to answer to me, but I'll just say not everybody. Not everybody will love what I write. And that's okay because someone else has written about it. And I hope that they grasp onto that and get the help they need. It doesn't need to be through me. And that's the point. And that's this, my gosh, 4 Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz, or what Pamela has been talking about, which is way supremely more powerful. And that's called the Bible. Might want to read it if you haven't yet, because it's got, everyone says, how many times have you heard no one's given us the user's guide to life? I want to say, yeah, they have. We have it.
Yep. Written a long time ago.
And there's lots of copies.
And there's a quote from Josh Billings that I like, and it says something about that it's not what you don't know that creates the greatest obstacle, is what you do know that is incorrect, right? That's what creates the greatest obstacle to success. Sometimes you got to unlearn some things, and that unlearning might be that second guessing, that unction, that discernment, right? That thing that's deep in your belly when you get this assignment or whatever. It might be unlearning that I need to take a leap of faith, right? So removing that obstacle and just, jump right in.
Yeah, training from stage, teaching from stage. We did a similar, you're so spot on everything. You're just amazing. Is, we always say from stage, there are 3 words that if you were to either utter them out loud or even inward to yourself, that if you utter those 3 words, you would, whatever you're there to learn, you've just shut that out. You will not learn a thing during that session. 3 words. And if you can just reframe it, but those 3 words are, I know that. Every one of us does this. Every single human on the planet. But if you could just reframe it and go this far and say, I know that, and I wonder what else I can learn from this today.
Yeah.
And that opens the mind back up. It's like a parachute.
And again, tying it back to faith in the Bible, you can go to a church or wherever your faith location is, and the person do a sermon on a specific scripture, right? And maybe someone preached on that same scripture 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or whatever, and you're hearing the same scripture taught, right? The scripture didn't change because it's consistent, right? But their take on it, their explanation, you receive it different. Why do you receive it different than you did the first time you heard it 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Because of the life experiences that happen in the interim, right? And so the same is true with any topics or subject. You might know it well. I do financial capability education. I attend other people's workshops sometimes just to support them because they're friends of mine or what have you. But every time I attend something related to financial literacy, I get a nugget, or what I call them, of course, naturally, it has to be a bona fide bit, not a nugget, a bona fide bit, right? But I pick up a bona fide bit from people who do what I do, but they do it different than I do, right? And so I can learn something because it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. You know, that people might receive it differently. You say the exact same thing, but you said it a different way. That now they have that aha moment.
And there's that one, repetition is the key to mastery. You know, how many times has anyone out there ever read the same exact book twice? Just like you said, hearing the same sermon. The interesting thing is, every time I've asked this, someone that raised their hand and say, yeah, I've read the same book twice. Multiple people would raise their hand in the crowd and said, so the second time you read it, was it the same as the first time? And to a person, they're all doing what you're doing. They're shaking their head no.
It's absolutely not.
I'm like, wait a minute. And I hold up a book and I say, so let's imagine this is that book. And I turn the pages. And I looked through them and said, so did something change inside? They're like shaking their head no. Did some pages get removed or redacted some statements? Did something change in the book? No. What changed? And you said it. Your life experiences, your experience from listening to it the first time or reading it from the first time has changed. And now you're ready for the next level of what it has to bring. Oh,
and so my first book that I wrote, Bona5 Bits where Inspiration and Intellect Collide with Your Finances. I don't know if everybody can see that. It is a quick, easy read, only like 79 pages, but it was written with exactly what you're saying in mind. It's a quick, easy read, but the intent is that you'll read it and reread it and reread it. And each time you read it, it'll speak to you differently. And you'll highlight some stuff and bend down pages or what have you. It gives you an inspiration, and that inspiration could be a quote, a statement, a scripture in some cases. And it'll take that inspiration and it'll give you a life application as well as a financial application to that inspiration. And it's broken down into the 5 categories, which are the 5 categories of Bona5, which is to educate, empower, evolve, enlighten, and enrich. And the reason why it is the 5, when you follow those principles, financial freedom's right in the palm of your hand. And that's the methodology behind the Bona5 Bits where Inspiration and Intellect collide with your finances. Still about that mind shift.
Financial freedom is in the palm of your hands now.
Right there. Anyone can have it. Just apply the principles.
Woo! Powerful sales copy right there. I'll tell you, that's great. I love it. I love marketing. That was genius marketing right there. Great stuff. Woo! Dang it. I'm looking at the time. Oh my goodness. 2 minutes.
No, it's like our time is coming up to an end.
Thank goodness I'm not paying for studio time. We will go over just a couple of minutes if you're cool with that, Pamela.
Absolutely.
I like to close the show with one very special question. And I do this with every of my guests, every one of my guests. And I love it because the answers are so profound. And they can be, to a degree, personal in addition. And I just love closing shows out with this because it started by accident. And I started asking that same question on occasion. I was like, wow, that's a great one. So before I do that, though, I did promise everyone that they would get the opportunity to win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. Compliments of the Big Insider Secrets up there on the right if you're watching. And here's how you do that. So real quick, right now and just for a moment, you have both. Well, I'll speak on behalf of Pamela. You can disagree with me if you want. You have both our permission to very briefly take your attention away as much as necessary to type in some information into a web browser so you can enter to win. So that's it. Here it is. I'll put it up on the screen. To do so, go to this web address, ryp.im/vacation, all lowercase. RYP, that stands for Reach Your Peak. That's my company. ryp.im/vacation. Enter to win and do that. Go ahead and do that. You don't have to do it this second if you want to stay with us. If you're watching on a phone and it's too difficult, write it down. Enter it the moment we go off the air, and you'll still be entered to win. That's fine. But you must be watching live, or you wouldn't have seen this and be able to enter within moments after the show's over. So go ahead, do that right now. And then a little birdie told me that I think Pamela may have a gift for everyone, and she has a really cool way of delivering it. And I wanted to basically turn it over to you to be able to describe it. I'm going to pull some things up on the screen to help out, but Pamela, go ahead and take it away if you're ready.
All righty. So for those who are watching now, I'm going to raffle off, if you will, randomly. Someone can win a B5 reaffirmation box and the Grace workbook that goes with it. And as a bonus, you'll get a one-on-one implementation of the program with me, with moi, the CEO and founder of B5 REAFFIRM. So what we'll do, you can go to the bit.ly link, which is bit.ly B5 and BK 2022. Fill out the forms. There's a couple pieces of information, your name, your email address, or what have you, to enter to win. And then tomorrow at 5:55 p.m., we will do a random spin the wheel for the winner. And at that time, if you're the lucky winner, I'll have you contact me with the mailing address. I'll get that in the mail to you. And then I will set up a Zoom with you, and I'll need you to not open the box, the package, until we're on the Zoom. So simple enough. Just go to bit.ly, register. We'll do a random drawing tomorrow, which will be January the 19th at 5:55 p.m. And you don't have to be present to win, because we'll do it live on Facebook. So you'll be able to find it on Facebook, B5 REAFFIRM. It'll be there. But if you are the winner, it'll also give you instructions on how to contact me to get your mailing address so I can get that to you. But I'm excited for you. It makes an excellent gift. Valentine's is coming up, right? So it might be a nice gift for that female in your life. So fellas, I'm just saying.
I was gonna piggyback on that and say, guys, enter to win for that woman in your life.
Yes.
And give her a great gift. And for those of you listening, I know we don't have much time before you'll see this, but it's bit.ly, bit.ly / capital B as in boy, 5, the number 5, the digit, the word and, A-N-D, all lowercase, then uppercase B as in boy, uppercase K, well, it's boy, B as in Brian, and K as in Kelly, and then the year 2022 digits. And that's how you will get the website you see on the screen. If you're watching this on video, if you're listening, I think it's going to be too late anyway. So,
well, and if they watch it even through the night, they have until tomorrow to register. So those who will be watching the replay, you still have a little bit of time, but 5:55 p.m. on January the 19th, 2022, we will do the Spin the Wheel live on Facebook for the winner.
Woo, I love it. I love it. We got some more comments coming in too. April Lewis, I love this. The Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving Earth.
All right. Oh, I love that.
Oh, and someone who just became certified herself. Yes, for the NLP approach. I know that. And absolutely, you get it. And yes. Okay. Lynn, yes, I definitely will direct message you and give you access to that. And you can do the same if you want, Pamela. You are the one she is loving, and I can't wait for you to be shared all over the place. Thank you, Lynn, for reaching out. We'll definitely make sure you get how to find it.
And Lynn, please reach out to me. I thank you for all your support and encouragement. So you can either go to the website or just PamelaMcCoy.com, and make sure the Pamela is the 3 A's, no E. McCoy.com is the website.
There it comes. Yeah, it's all A's. Pamela McCoy. There's 2 C's. So Pamala. That's kind of fun to say. MC, another C, OY.com.
Yes.
And uppercase, lowercase is not that important.
No, doesn't matter either way.
The main name in the front of the slash. So you want to go to Pamela McCoy, and there's what you'll see, that beautiful young lady. When you get to that webpage, you'll know you're on it. I'm showing this on video for those of you listening. PamalaMcCoy.com. Is there a contact form on here?
There's a contact us form there. Yes.
It must be in the menu here.
Yep, in the menu.
Fantastic. There it is. I just want to show folks. Take them by the hand. Just go in here, fill out the form. Optional phone number. I love it. I'm interested. Just click every box. If she has 4 more, check them all. And then, reach out to her. You can see she's a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, amazing person. She loves God. She loves her husband. She's got all the core elements of what human beings on this earth, in my humble opinion, should be like. And I kid you not. I'm not saying that just to make Pamela like me more.
Thank you.
I truly mean it. Gosh, I got to say again, before we started this show and what you were going through, so impressive, Pamela. It was It was fun to behold. And it told me a lot about you before we even started talking. We had never met before this show. And that's the beautiful thing about doing this show is the folks like you that come on just blow my mind in such great ways. You're like Christmas gifts every time. I get to open up these beautiful gifts. Yes, we need more believers. I'm looking at some more of the comments, but we need to close this off. Before we close it off, I didn't forget. We have that one more amazing question. And here's the thing with the question, Pamela, to kind of, I don't know, level set it a little bit, is with this question, there is no such thing as a wrong answer. It doesn't exist. It's exactly the opposite. The only correct answer is yours. That's the only thing that makes it personal. It's unique to you. In other words, it's very unique to you. That is why it's such a powerful and beautiful and profound question. If you need to pause and think, cool. If you get it right away, fantastic. Either way is correct because it's your answer. That kind of takes any pressure off if there was any, which probably wasn't already because you're all into it. So with that, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I knew you would say it. Here we go. Pamela McCoy, how do you define success?
Wow. For me, again, impact. And impact takes on many different definitions, layers, or what have you. I just want to be an impactful person in anyone's life that I'm blessed to serve. Right. And that could be a smile. It could be a conversation. It could be them attending one of my workshops or whatever the situation is, that their life is better in some way because our paths intersected. And for me, that's success, right? To know that I had some influence in someone smiling or being successful or accomplishing a goal, or in the ultimate, that they're still here, right? Because of something that I said, something that I did, or simply a smile. And as I like to tell everyone, being mindful and kindness cost us nothing, but the return on that investment is immeasurable. And so I would just implore everyone, be kind, be mindful of one another. It costs us nothing to do that. But it could save a life. It could impact a life in ways that you won't ever know or may not ever see, but just know that it has an impact.
You know it's coming. Yes. Oh my goodness, Pamela McCoy, what a breath of fresh air you are. You're an amazing, amazing woman. And I truly hope that there are more like you on the planet, that we multiply, and that your word is going to inspire others to become more like you. And I'm not saying that for your ego, just that's what this world needs, period, end of story. And I appreciate you for doing what you do, for showing up, for doing it with confidence, with doing it with having the backing of the word, and praying at every moment to find out, is this where I should be going? And more that I do this show, the more often I find that to be a recipe, the ingredients for a recipe to success in life, not just business, because it's about life. Business is a relationship. It's about relationships. And so it all works together. And so if you just take, I don't know, 5 of the 30,000 golden nuggets that Pamela just brought us tonight, you'll be better off than you were before that time. So Pamela, I cannot thank you enough for your time.
No, thank you for having me. It was a sheer delight being here, spending time with you, with your audience, with your listeners, or what have you. And when you talked about relationships, I reflected back on something my pastor used to always say, and that is, it's all about relationship, or it ain't about nothing, right? And that's everything. It's life. It's not business. It is life. Everything is about relationships, right? How we think and feel about whomever that we're interacting with or spending our quality time with or whatever. It's really all about that relationship, or it's not about nothing.
What a great way to end the show. Thank you, Pamela. On behalf of the amazing Pamela McCoy, I'm your host, Brian Kelly of the Mind Body Business Show. And that is it for tonight. We went a little over and worth every second, in my humble opinion. Thank you once again, Pamela. For everyone out there watching and listening, we got another great one coming up in about a week from now. Be sure to tune back in. Until then, I want to just say so long and be blessed. Have a great one.
God bless.
Bye-bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Business Show podcast at www.themindbodybusinessshow.com. My name